Hey, welcome back to the channel. Yes, I'm still walking. Yes, the same day. Just thought about something else. You know, when you walk, especially when you're not doing too much of active workout, like this is just walk, I can talk more. I have more time for it. So people like Thais, Chico's wife, thinks that once I go back to the office every day, that I'm gonna start making videos about them. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. Okay, Thais and Chico, it's not gonna happen. I'm always gonna have time for you. I'm always gonna time, because especially when I'm walking these dogs, I'm gonna have time. So we're gonna be frenemies forever. Okay. Anyway, that's not why I'm making this video. The video is something I actually encountered when I first came out with this thing about the Chico's dog being cold, and Chico's dog, being, getting humped by the other dog. I did get people looking to buy my dog, looking to buy that specific dog. And I kept explaining to them, listen, the dog is cold, okay? I wanted to make sure that that was the case, that they understood that, because at that point, I think I had already expressed that I had put him up for stud, but I was giving the up and up on all the information. But this guy, and this is the point of the video, this guy text me, well, I'm sure I could crank that dog, and that to me is like, I already expressed my thoughts about cranking, but I'm gonna express them again, especially because that happened, because they saw this cold dog, and it's like, oh, I'm sure I could crank him. I could crank him, and it goes against my beliefs. The cranking part, really, to me, if I have the same definition as you're the person that's listening to this. If I have the same definition as you're cranking a dog that's actually has no interest, zero interest. And again, this is all educational conversation. This is not really active. This is all educational. We're not, uploading any illegal activity. Blah blah blah. This is all related to the breed and related to something that happened to me, and using historical facts, things that happened in the past, to explain things now. And so this is not condoning any illegal activity, no dog fighting, nothing like that. Anyway, the guy was like, yeah, I'm sure I could crank him. I'm like, in my mind, it's like, well, if I really wanted to, probably I could crank him too, that was my aim. But, again, this is all conversational. Nothing is to be deemed that I am in any illegal activity or upload any illegal activity, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the guy was like, I could crank him. And I said in my mind, yeah, I'm sure I could crank him too in my mind. But I said, okay, thank you for your time. I'm sorry we couldn't work anything out. And I blocked him. Simple as that. I blocked him because there was no conversation to be had. He wanted me to sell him the dog, and I only had his sperm for sale. So I basically told him, no thank you, and I blocked him. But now, why is this about cranking such an issue for me? Well, again, I don't consider myself a guru or like 100-year expert on the dogs or the history when the dogs back in the day, when they were fought back in the day. But I do have I've had dogs all my life, literally hours upon hours of handling. And in my idea, in my belief, you're looking for dogs that have that natural inclination for a struggle, a natural inclination to be the alpha, a natural inclination to stand their ground. That's the type of dog that you're looking for, not the ones that are cold, as we say, or uninterested in standing their ground, not interested in it. I'm referring to it against other dogs, standing their ground, being the alpha, or just dominating. Some dogs don't have that. And what happens? This is my belief. Is what happened back in the day. Some people used to crank some of these dogs, and okay, it didn't. Well, the first cranking didn't work. Second cranking didn't work. Until the dog is not a dumb animal. The dog is not a dumb animal. The dog is like, oh shit. This is the way to freaking, either I react, or we're gonna continue doing this, and I'm gonna be getting hurt. So the dog is like, has no choice but to either react or to get mauled. And some other dogs just choose to get mauled. And that's, some of these dogs may begin to like it after, but they still have that uninterested, not natural interest into that activity. Give me a second. One second. Say. Go. Anyway, sorry, I have people behind me, or near me, and it's not a conversation I want people to listen to. So as I was saying, you could have dogs like that, and they will likely continue that trait of it's not really my thing, but if you force me to, I will. And if I'm successful all the time, I'm gonna like it. But the moment I get in a jam, maybe or maybe not, I'm going to go look for the exit sign. At least I want, in educational terms, in historical terms, at least I want the dog that has that interest, that has the mind of an alpha, has no fear, has curiosity, walks with an attitude of, I own this place. That's the type of dog I want. I want a dog that isn't going to need to crank. I know this dog will do something, worst case scenario. But again, we don't do any of that, but we still try to maintain the standard of the breed. Thank you. Come. Yes. You can tell, yeah? So, anyway, that's my point about these the cranking part. I just think that isn't the best course of action, and it's just going to make it worse as you go and breed these dogs that turn out to be perhaps good performers, but their heart isn't in it. But because they don't find competition that gets them in a bind, you never see that quit in them. But they will have a quit in them if they found the right type of opposition. But because you crank them and you're not too sure about them, you're looking to handpick opponents that aren't too hard to beat, or you think you aren't too hard to beat. So that way you can breed the dog, or you could have the dog have a fake title, or like a champion, fake title or grand champion, or and eventually have a POR title. Then again, it's also fake because there's no organization doing that, or the assessment. Everybody just giving themselves those titles. So it is what it is. So crank if you want, but I don't think that's a smart idea. This is Tony Montana signing off.